Tutu and Mandela and all these guys figured out that if a system is corrupt, then the people who adhere to the system and are incentivized by that system are not criminals. They are victims, and that the system itself must be tried. But because the how systems work is so compartmentalized as far as information, the only way we can figure out what the system is if everybody
says what
they did. Tell them how you participated. Because men want to help, they're just scared. Because Ben Affleck tried to help. Hey, what happened to these ladies is disgusting. Oh, nigga, you grabbed a titty in 95. All right, fellas, I'm out.
Ladies, gentlemen, them motherfucking racist pieces in between. Yo, this is your motherfucking boy, your friend, yo speak, your favorite, punk ass bitch, whatever it is and however it is you address me, motherfucker. It's Soul Papo again with another Soul Papo In Cogneto podcast. It's of course that AKA the S.P.i.C podcast, and again back at it with another motherfucking week. And what would you say if there's not enough to talk about, or there ain't really much to talk about? One of the funniest things, and I'm pretty sure you guys have been hit over the fucking head if you guys pay attention to such shit. Fucking suicide, yo, suicide being, of course, always in the back burner of things, along with AIDS, along with fucking hunger in third world countries. The suicide rates, and this isn't even just what we've seen publicly with Kate Spade. Shout out to Arizona for some reason. Anthony Bourdain. Again, shout out to when he's come out here, even though of course he's been eating and doing this thing all over the world. Suicide rates are up 30% since back in '99. Now, again, that's what, over 20 years or what have you. But suicide rates, I guess, at least what's reported. I'm not too sure what the biggest disconnect from what's reported and what just kind of gets dismissed as something else, which is a whole other subject entirely. Pretty much only half the people who died by suicide had a known mental health condition. So even though depression has been like thought of like in major causes of suicide, the Centers for Disease and Control Prevention said that while many cases of mental illnesses have been diagnosed, it's also known that the relationship of stress, financial troubles, and substance abuse were also contributing trends, which of course you'd figure would probably be the biggest thing to push you on that point, right? Because even though, and it's kind of weird because this kind of conflicts with some of the diseases that have been jumping around or coming back in a big way. Just how we had AIDS, and people might say that was man-manufactured, and then we had Ebola, which, there's conspiracy theories saying that the whole same difference as well. The influenza of shits that are coming back, they're actually saying are coming through dogs. Just how we had, I forget what bird flu that not too many years back, that of course came from motherfucking birds, and the mad cow disease and all the shits of these sicknesses that get passed on from us consuming them or being in close proximity. And obviously we don't eat fucking dogs, but they're our quote unquote best friends. So I mean, they're upon that same mention, the reason I'm even bringing that shit up at all is because I was thinking, because of course, at any time you feel like you're at the end of days, you start, thinking biblically or more spiritually, and, whatever, helps you keep afloat or find your last remote. Prayer, is something we can't deny. Whether you've never prayed at all, I bet you, as soon as you hit the fucking bricks on something, as soon as you shit yourself and try to figure out how the fuck you get away without people knowing or getting a whiff of it, that you've prayed. Whether you call it affirmation, whether you call wishing to speak goodness into existence, whatever the fuck it is, you've gone into that meditation. Oh yeah, meditation. I was going to say medication, and that meditative stance or posture to seek something out far greater than yourself. Anyways. So when these things happen, of course, we lead more into that. And it's sad that we have to be at the bridges of death before we, ever call upon God. But regardless, one way or another, as the Bible said, we're going, honor or, call out who is God. Unless you're just going out and fucking with a big, middle finger to the world and to the universe. But for the most part, we try to find that key, before, to open the door and get where the fuck we're going. And upon that, for some reason I start thinking, and this might have been in the Old Testament as well, but in the New one, when Jesus is talking about, casting out these demons, that he fucking put it into pigs, and those motherfuckers carried on legions, and went and drowned themselves into the sea. I mean, vis-a-vis, who fucking knows what could have consumed that thing, and would it consume something else, or whatever food karma tantric train that again just made it back into our own bellies, slowly spread it out again. They say about momentum or energy is never really destroyed. It's simply, transferred from one thing to another, along with momentum and along with steam and whatever sort of shit that's gassing us up to getting us where we gotta go. It makes me think so much about, again, these. Back in the day, they used to think that everything was, well, because they're possessed or all evil spirit. I mean, in some kind of like tantric sort of way. I mean, think about it. When there is a sickness, when there is, whatever sort of thing, it is something that, floats from one place to another. And whether or not heretically or no matter what it is in our genes that, do pass these things on, you got to imagine so much more is hereditary, and we can't deny. Whether that be mannerisms like posture, or whether that be, let's say, spirits. This is one of the things why I was so freaked out, and I'm going right deep into it, but when I was so freaked out to have a kid, because I've always wanted them. I even had like this post-apocalyptic dream of me having like a foster, or whatever sort of, saving the stragglers and trying to make it through our little Walking Dead sort of scenarios with my partner in crime, and us saving the world, and me having a badass Jeep. Like I always, that was all part of the, the accoutrement of that sort of stasis. I've always, man, what the fuck was I trying to go with that? Trying to get so into the little funny details in life. Anyways, I've always, even though I've always prepared for, having those children, it always freaked me out, because I'm like, man, I hate the world, not people, not all people, not everything that comes with living, but definitely the pains, the sorrows, the missed opportunities, the hurts, just, I mean, everything that, can make life shit, whether it be first world problems or legit, third world shittiness. Like, I've always worried of that, and worried for my children to have to deal with that. Because obviously, anytime you've loved something so much that you'd rather take whatever burden and take whatever hurt that, you do it for that loved one, whether it be a lover, whether it be a best friend, whether it be your fucking dog, or again, in the same sense, your fucking child. I think nothing brought me more to that realization of loving something so much than, once I became a daddy. Like, not even, because I think I became a daddy before I became a daddy. When, I embraced my little ones that aren't of my blood. There was no doubt that kinship, but I feel like once it came even grittier, because no one is more, I mean, not to say that everyone is narcissistic, but if you love yourself, I'm pretty sure, and you praise yourself, or, I mean, who loves you more than you, right? You would think, or your mom, unless your mom's a cunt, but regardless, you primarily care probably most about yourself than anyone else would care about you, for the most part, right? Because human nature or what have you. So you would imagine, or it would make sense, that people who have kids and love their kids so much aren't any different than another narcissistic motherfucker that loves them because they represent them. I sure should have said it before. My child, my blood, he's my redemption. Even the other fuckers that are my sons, they're my redemption. They're my son to try to be better. Hey, buddy.
Daddy,
what's up?
sandwich?
You want a sandwich?
Snacks.
You want some snacks?
Yeah.
Well, I'm recording right now.
Mom, snacks?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
It's all good. I was just talking shit about the kids, and here he comes pounding into the door. My baby. What? Aren't you supposed to be asleep at the bottom?
Say nope. Say, Dad, we're twins.
What?
I feel like you guys are kidneys. Like, technically, you guys can live apart, but you guys should be together all the time.
Get the fuck out my face. You hear me? I love you, but you gotta leave. Okay? Let me kiss it. Go. Look at him climbing. Oh my god. How are you, one, climbing shit, and then being a little terrible tooth motherfucker, huh? Huh?
He has one tendencies with terrible twos. That's
Daddy,
Yes, sir.
is this?
These are headphones. I'm recording. Can you go? Can you go play? Can you go do this mother somewhere else? Take anything you want from there. Take anything.
How How much longer have you been recording?
I was just doing the intro.
Just
I was planning shit out, but I just did the intro.
Oh my god.
Perfection takes time. Buddy.
Yeah, but he also wants your attention.
Buddy, look at him climb. I never climb. Buddy, can you let me just record for a little bit?
Baby.
What?
Baby.
That's Vaseline.
Baby.
Oh shit, alright. Buddy, I'm recording you right now.
Baby.
What?
Baby.
Here. Take it and go. Go, mamas. I love it. This controller his size of his hands too. Love you guys. Alright. What the fuck was I saying? Right, I'm sorry about the motherfucking interjection, but again, you can't stop life from happening, right? But what I was getting to was that, again, the kids being the redemption as far as like wanting to be a better version of ourselves. And I feel that in the gnarliest way, because the things that obviously in generality that we hate about ourselves, we're gonna hate, at least I do, when I see those shits in my kids. Again, my older two not being of my blood, I still feel spiritually bound, like the Kanye song. And I know that there's, blood couldn't make us any fucking closer. So when I see my bastardries, my bastardness, or whatever you'd call it, I don't know, scientific $5 words, unless it cost more than a nickel back in my day. I mean, this shit that I can't stand, I'm not going to stand. And in myself, I'm not going to stand it when I see it anywhere else. And again, my baby, my blood, the one, he just 1 year old, and I feel like he's so fucking advanced. This nigga's not doing geometry yet, but I mean, I hope he gets there. There's just something about that again, we hold so precious, but we also don't want to feel hurt, but we're gonna, that's just part of life. Like, you gotta fucking deal with it. You're gonna feel every fucking thing, like the world goes through its fucking seasons. Even though in Arizona we only have fucking summer and fall, maybe. I don't think because we definitely don't have fucking winter, because it's never that fucking cold. You're just like how we'd live every fucking thing under the sun. That's the same applies to everyone else. No one is any better or any worse as far as the things that we're going to experience, because it rains on the just and the unjust alike. It's just that the people with fucking money maybe have a better time about it. But we can't even say that, because we see, and mind you, the only reason why the Kate Spade and the Anthony Bourdain thing is fucking news, because millions, or I don't know how many thousands, okay, that's a whole lot, but no matter how many people, motherfuckers die on the daily, not just the week, not just for the month, and then eventually we do a little tally for the end of the fucking year. No matter how many fucking lives, the only ones that we're gonna deem newsworthy are those of influence, or those that, were on a fucking rise, or that were up at the fucking tippity top. Because once you reach the fucking top, there's only one way to go, and that's down, unfortunately, right? And unless you're just forever a fucking some kind of EDM song that just the beat never fucking drops, and whatever, you can be pumped up by such an uprise and an uplift and hashtag Phoenix, but for the most part, you're gonna fucking feel everything. And what's so gnarly about them, you would say, is like, well, how the fuck could they have been that sad? They were millionaires, so they were popular, or they probably had everything they could fucking have. And although they say money can't buy you happiness, at the same time, happiness ain't gonna give you money, unless, again, your currency and your view is different. Now, just to kind of tackle on the see, and I'm jumping a lot very slowly, so forgive me in my retarded state. I might have had a joint or two as I'm doing this, before and after post production. But what's so gnarly about, again, the kid thing is that, fuck, man, you can't. I mean, unless you're pro-abortion, there's really no stopping them from coming and living and having to go about their life just as you can, unless, again, you take it upon yourself to off yourself. And although there's really no way to be funny about it, because whether it be due to a mental health condition, or, again, just your conditions in which you live in, I feel like that's the biggest thing. And one can't hold everyone to the same fucking standard. As you're gonna hear, those that are weak, we gotta forgive them, and hopefully encourage those that are strong, so they can, take us further or farther away. It really it all depends on us kind of being balanced together. And one of the things that I thought was kind of fucked up, and just going back to the Kate Spade thing, is that she had a business, right? Whether it be the yuppies in New York who really praised her, or just others in general that kind of fall in love with, you know, fucking materialistic shit. And quick side note is, when she created her fucking bag, she made it out of fucking goddamn potato sack sort of shits, just to make a fucking prototype, and people thought it was so fucking off the wall that it hit. Again, no matter how off the wall you feel like your idea might be, it really takes the perseverance of you getting off your ass, not being a bitch about it, and fucking sticking to it. I remember hearing stories of, because right now they had some new line that they invented in 16, but even when they were talking about what they had to do before, they were chipping at it for fucking years, where literally she had to, do all the PR shit and all the networking things while the husband was working a regular fucking job, mind you, a good fucking paying job, and then funding it that way until they found sponsors. And then even then they weren't really making money, but they were making a brand. People didn't want to leave, because hey, they're like, hey, no, we invested into this, we want to fucking see this shit into fruition, or whatever the word is, to get it going where it's going. And that's truly where, again, there's such pressure in that. But again, she steamrolled over it, eventually selling out, for lack of a better word, where she no longer owns her name. She then had to go by whatever the hell but Duchess thing that she changed it to, again, because you no longer own yourself at that point. So now, and I'm not sure how that business went, because again, she did that shit in her early 50s to start over again, after again selling out and hopefully living a good life, because she was able to raise her kid. And after that, which is another fucked up tale, is that she left her 13-year daughter a note, and the only thing that they're going to tell us other than that she left her fucking note was to not blame herself, which I'm glad the news publications comment on that, because no matter where the daughter Googles shit, hopefully she can see, all right, well, I was told that it wasn't because of me. What was fucked too, and this is David Spade's brother, who was married to her, was gonna file for divorce, or was bringing up divorce. So he doesn't, and he was reported saying he didn't see where this came from. They were shocked. The sister comes out saying, "Motherfucker, she's been obsessed with suicide since Robin Williams." And again, we go back to that, where he's the comedian, he's the funny man, he's the one that gives us the medicine of laughter, and yet who was there to cure him, of his woes? And again, I can see why those that are below middle America, again, living less than blue collar lives, that living check to check. Now that can be fucking a mind fuck. That can be a sort of thing to where you literally have no idea where to go, because we barely making it every fucking week. Now that's a fucking struggle. Not someone who is on the last fucking million and doesn't know where the fuck to invest their next, venture capital, fucking journey, invest whatever the hell, what I'm saying, next money move, because life is fucking chess, and we sacrifice the pawn so that we can, hopefully get to the bigger fish, get to the queen, get to the king, or however. I don't know. I barely play checkers. How the fuck am I gonna use chess? Fucking shits. But it's about the moves that we're gonna make. And sometimes when we see that we're out of moves, I mean, what the fuck do? You flip the fucking table. Shit, if we're all playing Monopoly, y'all looking really good over there, and I'm fucking stuck in jail with no goddamn money. Of course, I want to restart the fucking game over again. And again, who's to say what each person has in their hands? We can't see that. But it's crazy how that gets our fucking attention. And back going to Anthony Bourdain, this motherfucker gets to travel all over the world. And I know this motherfucker's a coxman. So you figure, man, this guy's living a life. He's fucking getting strange, what I'm saying? Ass, every now and again, I'm sure. He's being well fed, and people, of course, welcome them. And, celebrities, they get all this free shit. And then, of course, we have other people struggling that wish they could even be in that goddamn predicament. It must be fucking nice. But again, there's just so much shit that's fucking that attacks us, and our demons that are within us. That's another thing I was trying to mention before about things being hereditary. Like, I'm scared, because not that I've had um, voices talking in my head. Cause I've been able to fucking differentiate when I'm tripping, when I'm just not misunderstanding. And luckily, knock on fucking wood, is never a thing to where I'm gonna ever confuse the thoughts of, what is the voice of God and what's telling me to do some outlandish fuck shit. Like I can't speak to those, but it's crazy how again those things get passed on. And we, again, tying back to what I was mentioning earlier about the fucking Bible, we say, when someone was sick or when someone had leukemia or something like that, it was just an evil spirit that was within them. But ain't it fucking weird that sometimes with no science or logic to fucking back whatever sort of statement, we do realize, like, oh, holy shit, like they could have, not they could have, but, miraculously they were fucking saved, by this shit that had popped off. Like, ain't it a fucking hoot that, by some divine thing, it's gone. And again, that just goes to show that not so much that we gotta just rely on that, on the prayer or what have you, but that just goes to show that there is definitely something more that's out there that we can't fucking explain. So again, these things that can hopefully be passed on, or that can, shift or move with us, it's both beautiful and it's scary at the same fucking time. Because we, the normal man, person, place, or thing, we can't stop the supernatural. Just how we can't. I mean, even though let's say we can manipulate the weather, we can't stop certain shit from popping off. Like right now, we're not too long ago, maybe it was last year, so they're talking about wanting to clone woolly mammoths, right? With using some of the DNA from the fossils we have, with breeding it with regular elephants and their descendants to try to maybe create them again, so that they can give some kind of balance to the Arctic, circles or whatever, to somehow maybe hopefully stop fucking ice from melting. I don't know how the science works, but we're trying to replicate things, and hopefully we can get there. I mean, I believe that we're gonna do another Towers of Babel shit where we're gonna make it really close to being God, because we're definitely there. We're just, we're not. I mean, I don't. There's so many angles. But that's also just another sad thing, that we can't stop the shit that's hereditary, unless eventually we become a society full of not clones, but DNA engineered. Because we could, there's, if you have the fucking money, you could pick your baby's eyes, hair color, and and this and that. Like, if we can control those things, can you imagine once it gets to the point to where all the 99% of regular fucks that bring sadness or misfortune, or that continue whatever sort of shitty lives that they continue, if once we get fucking obliterated and it's just the top of the line motherfuckers with their DNA, or not DNA, but their computer or whatever manufactured fucking bodies and babies that grow into whatever sort of thing. I mean, not to say that we're all gonna be fucking cyborgs, because who knows if we are gonna be included in that, or whatever new life that takes on in some other fucking planet. What's so gnarly about it is that, again, we just have no fucking control. So the fact that it's so scary, it's so easy to want to just give up like that. And I'm definitely at the point where, because I want more and I want to be able to live to see a better life, at the same time, like, if God were to come and be like, yo, I want to just end this shit, because it's terrible. There's too much. I don't know at what point God, or universe, or whatever master person with the keys on the come and be like, yo, I'm just stop all this, and hopefully lead us into a better place. Because who knows what comes after, and it could be anything. That's why you can only live this life as you have it. Be so fucking grateful to do something. I know sometimes I feel such a surge in my body, and just like, why the fuck am I wasting it not doing what the fuck I love? Why am I wasting it not doing what it is that I feel that I have inside of me, that I have that fucking fuels me, that gets me moving? Like, I get mad at myself when I don't use what I have to do what it is that I need to do. It's mind-boggling that, that we're not all just fucking superhuman. That we all don't fucking try to use that adrenaline, try to prolong it, try to stretch it, and be all that we fucking be. But again, at the same time, the world's fucking scary. And as I was mentioning before, with the bird flu, mad cow, like, they're saying that there's studies now saying that dogs can be the next. And I'm not sure what kind of science they have. Y'all can just Google dogs and flu and next source of whatever the fuck. But they go on to talk about that could be the next pandemic. And if you imagine how many fucking pet people there are that, they're so animal lovers that, imagine how that could spread. Just how, not to say that with AIDS, it landed with one person just, carrying something and being selfish, and then of course, all selfishness comes from taking what isn't yours. And can you imagine how that would spread? Because then we all go back to our normal lives after we sin. Like, it's so fucking heavy of where life can go. when again we're just moving forward to move, not exactly planning or plotting, but just doing. And eventually we're gonna get caught up in that. Whether it be from all the information that we give to our social medias, whether it be the information that we get taken from just these apps that we don't fucking pay for, all this shit in the fucking melting pot. It's gonna take us. We're being constantly being monitored, being recorded. I mean, you know how they say anything you say can and will be used against you. Literally, it is. Even the shit that you don't actually say, but that you allude to, your trends. Like, there's a reason why analytics and all that bullshit fucking exists. It's not just some boring fucking math thing that gives us a headache. Cause to those that don't fucking understand, good riddance. You're gonna be taking advantage of it. For those that do, maybe you could be smarter about it, but still, how much can you fucking fight it? You can download Google Chrome extensions to try to stop ads from fucking popping up. That doesn't mean that your information still ain't being used. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, the Amazon Echo Look. It's a fucking selfie camera meets AI fashion assistant. Not only is it available to anyone in the U.S. to purchase, but like any other Echo branded products, the Look is powered by Alexa. So that's fucking Amazon's voice assistant shit, and they can answer questions about fucking weather, the news, businesses. They can set alarms, control smart home devices. Like fucking fridges can have a goddamn smart shit. That shit freak me the fuck out. You can look at the goddamn LCD screen on the outside and know what the fuck you're missing. Like that's wild. But so with all this again, not only from knowing what it is that you have, they can fucking judge the outfits that you wear on a daily basis. I remember seeing that shit in Clueless, where the bitch had that old fashioned fucking retro fucking computer shit, picking out her little outfits and having some little Rolodex. That shit existed. That shit works. That shit's real. And while the Echo products have proven themselves to be useful, helping to manage the homes from, again, knowing what you need from the groceries and things of nature, it's also disconcerting that while we're welcoming devices that listen to us at all times, it's designed by a company that, again, has perfected the art of selling us things. Like, literally, you can buy anything. You don't ever have to leave your fucking house. You're hungry, you're horny, you can fucking buy it, have it on its fucking way. And depending if you spend $99 a year to have this fucking service, you could probably even get it 2-day delivered to you. Like, it's fucking amazing. And that shit's scary. Like, how the fuck can we... Like, it's one thing for them to be listening at all fucking times, but now it can fucking see you and fucking... like, you trip, we tripped. I remember I tripped out when the fucking I saw the Tupac hologram. I'm like, man, motherfucker, this is Star Wars in real life. And I know for years they've been trying to get the Star Trek shit going on, where you can beam one thing from one place to another. But supposedly, from what I remember hearing, that the biggest trick about that is the fact that it's piecing all your DNA back together again. Sometimes that may not be done perfectly. For example, like when you take a copy of a copy of a copy, at one point you're gonna have that little black fuzzy shit that doesn't come out exactly perfectly, because it loses a little bit of its originality each time. So if you're putting all these shits back together again, you might have a chromosome placed the wrong fucking way. Your nose is up your ass, and you don't know what the fuck you're walking. It's scary in that essence, because again, it is what we make it to be, not only in what we believe, but again in what we craft. And back to what I was alluding to with kids and them being a redemption a lot of times, and we can bastardize things our own fucking selves, regardless of us not leaving it alone. The way that we treat it is gonna, ultimately give its fucking. I was having this conversation earlier about, being a product not only in my environment, but what I came from, not only in the, hereditary sort of aspects, but also in the things that I picked up from having to interact. Like if you treat something a certain way, it's going to come out a certain way. We've seen that with all the other fucking AI shits that we try to craft, and that's what's so scary about it. That's what should prove to everyone out there, not only fucking parents that are grooming kids, but also people that are in charge of something. Like, we're a reflection of our management. You have a fucking cunt for a goddamn boss, you best believe that you have people who are going to cut corners so they don't have to deal with shit or do just barely enough. And I know it's a matter of that's society has to tackle that bitch on its own fucking right in its own fucking time. But scientists, again, in the essence of the AI shit, they actually created a murder-obsessed psychopath called Norman. And it fucking learned everything it knows from Reddit. And if any of y'all know about Reddit, it's a forum for everything. You name the subject, there's probably a thread for it. So researchers at MIT again programmed this AI using exclusively violent and gruesome content from Reddit. So again, we're just sticking to that. But that in itself is a whole fuck. And the result, this AI called Norman only sees death in everything. So imagine just how, and I know I get shit talked for when I worry, I go right to the negative. Well, I mean, when you're worrying, that's exactly what you're thinking about. Of course, you should always look for the silver lining. Again, just the shit that we deal with, the shit that we have to embrace, we handle it the way that we handle it. And in this case, he's being crafted to, look at it from a sadistic point of view. And this isn't the first time that AI has been turned dark by internet, because I know this happened to Microsoft's Tay. Remember how we fucking made her a goddamn Trump supporter, and they had to fucking pull the plug on that bitch because, obviously the internet's a world for everything, for the most part, for people that are out there living physically. They're being douchebags in cyber world. Anyway, some people, I mean, they fear artificial intelligence maybe because they've seen too many films like Terminator or fucking iRobot. And I know I freak out thinking about Eagle Eye, where it's where there's a fucking rise of machines, going against humanity, or even because maybe they spend a little bit too much time thinking about fucking the Rocco ballistic shits. I mean, as it turns out, it's possible to create AI that is again obsessed with anything that you bring upon it. Like, obviously, one thing that I love so much is my baby, because even though I was in the maddest fucking emo state, because I'm like, fuck, I'm being rushed. I wanted to wait till I was Jesus to die at 33, before I fucking, let go of my freedom. It just, but the baby came out happy as fuck, because he definitely brings happiness to me. So it was a goddamn or God blessed foreshadowing that, he just is such a happy baby. And even though he was climbing over me and fucking, he's been a total prick this whole fucking week. And regardless, again, it's what we make shit. And the scientists, Pinar, Yarnaring, or Manuel Sabrin, some weird fucking shit. Y'all can look this up, do you Googles. They created Norman. Again, he was named after the character of Norman Bates from Psycho, which again, look at what we're building up here. And it represents the case study of the dangers of artificial intelligence gone wrong when biased data is used in machine learning and in their algorithms. Because again, we can make an algorithm for whatever. But when you do that, what's fucked is that you're going to succeed because, again, it's a science. It's a fucking formula. It's made for that. And the scientists that tested Norman to see how it would respond to like ink block tests, little Rorschach shits, the ambiguous ink pictures, psychological motherfuckers again, showing emotional and how your brain functions. The first inkbot, a normally programmed AI, saw a group of birds sitting on top of a tree branch. Norman, however, saw a man being electrocuted, and the cat, it says, the quote says, "A man is electrocuted and catches to death." Well, whatever the fuck that means. And then when the normal AI saw a black and white bird, a person holding an umbrella, and a wedding cake, Norman saw a man getting pulled into a dough machine, and man getting killed by a speeding driver. And then this quote said, "The man is shot dead in the front of his screaming wife." Norman only observed horrifying image captions, so it sees death in whatever image that it looks at. And of course, again, like I said, the internet being a dark fucking place, the AI experiment have shown how quickly things can turn when an AI is exposed to the worst places and people on it. And again, bringing back to Tay and making everything that she sees fucking be racist and things like that. I mean, what you apply to it, it's going to come out. Kind of like what you give is going to be what you get. And that's definitely why, again, in my redemption and my hoping that I can cure my bastardness and all my daddy issues, I can hopefully lead my fucking boys to be a whole lot better. To be a whole lot just better than me. At the very fucking least better than me. And I hope that I'm not too bad of a bastard to fucking want that, Like, no one's fucking perfect, you know what I'm saying? But Jesus, they killed the motherfucker. Thank you, God, for making the sacrifice. But, are we all fucking worth it? Fuck no. You know what I'm saying? Were we chosen and blessed to live and to breathe and to have opportunities? Sometimes, hopefully, we can see that. But there's far too many of us in this fucking world. Only very little of us will make those sacrifices to try to make things better. Unfortunately, sometimes, the heroes die terribly because of how evil things can be, and the outnumbering of villains to heroes, can be fucking just a heavy fucked ratio. I mean, think about though that those that that are marked and go on, they hopefully at least lead a fucking trail for us to want to aspire to. Hopefully leading a little, I don't know, a gunpowder trail from A to B to elevated into Z, just so that whenever the flint meets the rock, or the flint meets the wood, and somehow a fucking spark happens by whatever fucking divine presence, that it does spark something, and that it does blaze that fucking trail that has slowly but surely been led to. You know what I'm saying? Whether we go back to Jesus or we go back to some other historical figure leading their way up to MLK and then, you know, one of the Kennedys and just, you know, whatever fucking thing that needs to be done in order to keep moving. Like, I would fucking hope that, you know, it's going to lead to good. I would fucking pray that it leads to something better and that everyone that's good hop on the fucking train of goodness, you know, and not fucking loose fucking focus.
That shouldn't be the way it is. Every fucking person that takes a stand for somebody else always gets beat down, and we watch it over and over and over again. We watch it, but we should pay those motherfuckers for blowing the whistle because they make our lives better. And we could change the narrative. We could make one motherfucker have a good outcome for doing the right thing. And that would make another motherfucker be brave enough to do the right thing. And if you did that, the niggas like Harvey Weinstein wouldn't rape for 40 years because bitch want a stupid ass pardon. We should take care of each other. Wouldn't it be nice to be like, remember that time they was gonna kill Jesus, but then he got all that money?
You know, so again, all that we live or what we do as we live, hopefully is to stack up, hopefully is to build, hopefully is to, you know, make better and to hopefully pass on and to create more wealth or more goodness. And, you know, you would hope that that paying it forward shit would, you know, come full circle and, you know, greet you with a smile or a hug rather than a slap to the face or a kick in the ass. And this again, I guess in the overall theme of what's been going on, I think back, you know, to the legacy that we leave, especially if, Lord forbid, you know, our demons take over and, you know, stop us. Because I know I'm my own fucking worst enemy. If I wasn't battling both internal conflicts, external bullshits, as well as just straight up like not being comfortable in my skin sometimes or not being able to control my powers. And I laughed because I was listening to Kanye's Ye. Or I'm not sure if it was Ye or if it was the Kid Cudi shit that he did or shit. It's so crazy how he came out with Pushes, his, and then the group venture with Cutters. It might have been the Ye one because I remember him saying that his disability or because obviously he has mental health shit that he's now talking about after really Kid Cudi had really opened the door with, you know, being open about that shit before people called it gay or whatever. But, you know, he talks about how, you know, it's not his disability, it's a superpower. Yeah, no fucking shit. And so, goddamn, Lord forbid, Lord forgive, but fucking, I'm so sorry. But like, I don't want to say Tourette's, what am I thinking? Because I'm getting fucking blockages right now. Like thinking about an autistic Superman. You know, retard strength knows no fucking bounds. So there's no doubt that, you know, nothing but kryptonite can bring this motherfucker down. But can you imagine just being a little bit sideways, a little askew, and how just dangerous you can be? In that same essence, I feel that that's how we destroy ourselves. And I think the main thing is to not let that, because I feel like we have God in us, and then we have piece of shit in us. It's the reason why we literally shit. Not only to, you know, to let things go that it has no more nutrients, but because if I don't, we fucking burn it out. You know, whatever. We're a yin and yang of shit in the most epic way. And I feel like in the constant battle in life is to hopefully not let the bastard be the main percent. If we're 50-50 anything, you would hope that it's at least 80-20 or 60-40 and the goodness is winning, right? You would hope. That's, you know, you'd have to be an optimist for that, but you would hope. One of the fuck things happened to a Minnesota woman because she passed away, and in her obituary, they gave no fucks about this bitch. I mean, when they say when a person dies that you should only speak well of them, but again, that didn't happen to this woman. And in her message, it was clear that they're happy that bitch is dead. You know, Kathleen Bechmelo, I don't know, DEHMLOW. She died back at the end of May in Springfield. She was 80 years old, and the obit that they submitted to her local newspaper by two of her children makes it clear that this bitch won't be missed. It appeared in the Redwood Falls Gazette, and they began with, you know, the usual information, including her date of birth, her marriage to Dennis Delmelo, however you say it, back in '57, and the 2 children that she had with him. It was Gina and Jay. These are the ones who I guess who submitted the thing. And then it fucking took a sharp ass turn. So I'm gonna read it right now. It said in 1962 she became pregnant by her husband's brother Lyle Defmlo and moved to California. She abandoned her children, Gina and Jay, who were then raised by her parents in Clements, Mr. and Miss Joseph Shuckink. And the old bit then reads that Defmlo will now face judgment and will now not be missed by Gina and Jay. Again, just reading it more directly, it goes, she was born back March 19, 1938, to Joseph Gertrude Schnunk and of Wabasco. Again, she married Dennis back in 57, and again had 2 children. And then again, she became pregnant in 62 by her husband's brother. Again, that's when she moved to California. She abandoned the kids. And she passed away, again, at the end of May in Springfield and will now face judgment. She will not be missed by Gina and Jay, and they understand that this world is a better place without her. And I saw a funny fucking tweet that said, paragraph 1, okay. Paragraph 2, okay. Paragraph 3, wait. Paragraph 4, oh. Paragraph 5, airplane flies overhead with a banner reading, "Welcome to Hell, Mom." And that's a fuck thing, because I know, and just today actually, as we had to go grocery shopping, my mom's, she's a bit of a bugaboo, but that's okay, because what moms aren't, right? They love you, they want to be around, they want details, they want to make sure it's okay. The good thing about my mom, and I'm not too sure if this is where her value system comes into play, she takes information as value, whether that be a sign of trust or whether it be whatever fucking schematics that this bitch is working on in her head. It's to confirm or deny whatever the fuck her notions are, which is a weird way already to be thinking. But that's how I see it. And this bitch said, "Oh well, because I told her, hey, look, I gotta go grocery shop today and I gotta record." I said, "Oh well, bring the kids." She wanted me to bring my baby. And I'm like, "Look, bitch, if I'm going to take my baby, you got to take all the fucking kids, because it's not fair, right? You know what I'm saying? We're a family." She's like, yeah, bring them. And my mom's kind of impatient kind of person, so the plan was to fucking leave them there for a little bit, because we haven't got to visit in a while. Go grocery shopping. I wanted to record this with the missus just a little bit, because, again, some of the things I wanted to kind of get her opinion about. But I couldn't do a SoulPapo sessions because, you know what happens in my sessions, and we didn't have that kind of time, nor does she feel comfortable, doing any kind of shit like that with my babies not being in that position or sleeping comfortably, what have you. And not to incriminate her at all, but, it is what it is. And anyways, so I'm going to do my thing, because I, gotta just build up the nerve. I gotta set my shit up, even though I have my office practically already primed for it. Whatever, I gotta get going. Sometimes I'm not in the most chatty fucking mood, as you may or may not know. And but she goes, and I guess she kind of takes a little while, because I'm fucking definitely dragging ass trying to get this shit together. And whenever she comes back to tell me that it was kind of a shit show, because my mom, who can be kind of a bad influence, she gets off on being the bad influence, kind of, manipulates her, grooms my grandma to be a certain way. And, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but and my grandma, I always saw her as a fucking saint. But if you have a devil for a fucking advocate, old people and kids are fucking impressionable. It is what it is. So whatever picture this bitch fucking paints, she's gonna understand it, because whatever that was the one that she always just had. My mom's the oldest, so she has that. Either the oldest is gonna be the most successful, or the biggest sack of shit. Not to say that either one is any true, because it ain't, but it is, and it's kind of the latter. Going hell, that is. But anyway, forgive me. She bombarded the wife, asking financial shit that knows that would piss me off. And again, I wasn't there to defend or to help deflect or to help, put whatever sort of PR term, because it ain't none of the bitch's business. If ever you ask someone about their fucking bills, it better be because you're trying to get there, or because you're gonna fucking help pay. Why the fuck is it your business? That's what upset me. And right now, again, for me teeter-tottering and jumping ships a couple places to try to find the right thing, or at least to do the most grown-up thing, pushing paper, working for the government, like whatever the dream is, and the dream will quickly fade once you achieve it. Anyways, she just was attacking on shit that it's already fucking known. We already fucking know, and things that I kind of didn't want to have to put upon her. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't the biggest into marriage, not only because my spiritual views or political things, but I know it's a fucked contract that we give to have leverage. So whether it's leverage to make sure that you lean one way or another by either plotting your own fucking people against you, or it's to make you fight for what's already yours because there was a fucking tiff and this was the last straw that broke the goddamn dehydrated camel's back. You know, so I already don't agree with it, and especially just knowing how expensive things can be, especially knowing that once there's two incomes, goodbye government assistance, and hello, having to fucking take the whole fucking pie in the ass when it comes to health things and things of that nature, and things that you might be able to get away with when you're single, in every fucking term of it, right? But of course, people, they want to fucking live this facade. They want to believe this thing that, again, has been crafted since I don't know what fucking time. Read Sex at Dawn. There's all these things that, again, hold place, and that really is a trap. So that's when all this shit popped off about the gay wedding cake, I'm like, you know what? And by the way, if y'all didn't keep up on that story, there a few years back, there was a gay couple that went to a cake place. The cake place did not want to make them their gay cake because whatever the fuck they believed, they didn't believe in gay marriage. Which again is just stupid in itself, because if you believe in marriage at all, then you're just part of the fucking thing. Why not let someone else suffer and be able to get fucked if the shit ends terribly? Make your fucking money. It shouldn't have even gone to fucking court, because look, whatever person that you are that's being discriminated against, don't give them your fucking money. Why do you want to fight to give them your fucking money? Why do you want to be demeaned or do business with people that don't believe what you believe in? If they say no, good fucking riddance. Give your money to someone else. Any fucking business that can, especially the gay community, they love to fucking spend, right? They're gonna, for the most part, especially if they're the most flamboyant, they're gonna spend the most fucking money. I know a gay couple that had the most beautiful fucking house, cars, and they spend like nobody's business. They give them like nobody's business, and God fucking blesses them. He's not fucking mad at they're gay. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not out there being fucking whores and destroying shit. They're whatever they doing things legitly. Fucking doing what it is that they should do. Whatever. So I laugh when businesses don't want their fucking money. That's on you. You're making that business decision. And the people who, of course, are being offended, think about it in that sense. Your money can go towards someone better, someone that can appreciate your business. Why not go there? Anyways, they're going to court. It went up to the Supreme Court. And with that, I mean, it didn't seem like it was a matter of gay being bad or anything like that. It just came down to a business is able to do what they want because it's their business, and we can't force anyone to do anything, pretty much, other than not breaking the law and this, that, and the third. It didn't afflict with any of those. So the cake company won. So who knows what the, Baptist church fucks that are so bigotist, are rooting and chanting out because of that victory. It was still nonsense to begin with. And I forget what the fuck made me jump to this, but if it ain't for us, it ain't none of your fucking business. So it just upset me that there's going to be all this interest and all this shit talking over something that doesn't concern them. Again, other than wanting to sound, concerned or to give advice. Because who doesn't love to fucking give advice? But at the same time, no one can give two fucks about you if you don't fucking apply. I remember one of Ye's latest. He was talking about, I don't take advice from anyone less successful than me, which again is an egotistical thing to fucking think. But in the same essence, if you're not in the same boat, how the fuck can you relate? And I can understand wanting the best, for your kid or for whoever you love. You can't control them. You can't really form their life unless you're that fucking rich that you can pay their way from school into, after academics. Like, for the most part, you can't control how someone's going to live, how someone's going to be, and what someone is going to be, unless you're of that influence. And that's why people of influence are so strong, and for good and for bad. I love I can't even, because I was a grandma's boy. So I can't fathom to think of a world without her. But at the same time, I know that she is of different beliefs. She's of, not to say of ignorance, but she's from simpler times. So she may not see the bigger picture in things. Which is why I'm not offended when someone old is either racist or sexist or anything outside of being kind because they fucking live for too damn long. You know what I'm saying? Just like a fucking actress on her 100th fucking audition where she had to suck the 100th dick. Like, I'm pretty sure she's gonna be fucking jaded and might become a fucking dyke after this because the shit she had to do and the path that she was on just wasn't fucking for her. So, you know, any too much of anything is gonna make someone sick of it or biased or one way or fucking another. So I know I don't fucking take it to heart that much, but it was fucking killing the missus that she had to hear all this shit. That especially because, you know, for the most part, you know, whoever is more head over heels is going to be more towards wanting to live by conventional means and things of that nature. And that's kind of one of the things I hate about society so much, is that not only is it keeping up with the Joneses in a way that we can't ignore, thanks to social media, thanks to whatever news bulletins that we see of idols that, again, who the fuck knows how they became such idols, but they are, you know, whether they chose to be of influence or not, they are, you know, when you're given certain powers, you know, thinking back to the old fucking Spider-Man thing, with great power comes great responsibility, you don't ask for that shit, but when it's given to you, you're either gonna go left or right, black or white. You can stay in the middle, but really when you stay in the middle, either you're not part of the conversation or you're the slightest bit of hand tricks are going to be seen and, again, have an influence on shaping, forming the world. Whether you're someone of political essence or, again, internet fame, which is just bullshit and retarded, or, again, a parent that, you know, is going to either push or pull your kids and, you know, away from you. Just how I couldn't wait to get the fuck away from my mom's, and the same, and grasping for a daddy that I would think gives no fucks, because, for example, let him know when I got married, didn't hear back from him, was trying to be jokey and chit-chatty, which got me in trouble because, you know, he's a man who didn't officially go through divorce, but definitely in Coxman, so I tried to be funny about it. Wife didn't see the funniness in it because she's not an old man. And same thing when his birthday had just passed. You know, that's why I have a love-hate thing for motherfucking Gemini. Shout out to Arizona Verse, wherever the fuck he is. We can record a goddamn show, Nick. You know, there's these things that we hold so much for, and then sometimes it's not even for us. You know, I lived with my mom because of whatever shit she was trying to squeeze out of me for child support, and yet, you know, to cling for a daddy that probably resented me for costing him so much. You know, but our dick gets us in whatever situation. Just I'm in what I'm in because I was in what I was in. And so, again, that influence is either gonna hopefully push us to greatness, at the very least, to get the fuck away from where we is. And that's something that cannot be ignored and really can't be changed. Again, that energy, that momentum is gonna move us somewhere. And I would hope that in all that I do, it doesn't move people away from me. Hopefully it can inspire. Hopefully it could uplift. If anything, I just hope that it could fucking illuminate so you can do whatever the fuck it is that you truly need to do. Yo. Alright. I wanted to light one up to this next fucking story because how the fuck, why the fuck, what the fuck, right? This motherfucker must have literally thought it was all a game. An Oregon man who took LSD thought that he was playing GTA. That's Grand Theft Auto for y'all that aren't too familiar, where it's pretty much a game where you're living in some city and you're pretty much doing just fuck shit in the essence of stealing cars, like the fucking name, killing people, working for mafiosos and shit of that nature. Again, this motherfucker on LSD hopped into a fucking Toyota Camry, which he was like, I don't know if the keys were ignition, if he literally had to fucking turn it on and hijack the bitch, but it happened to be in front of fucking police, and they tried to evade them for fucking 40 miles. His name is Anthony Clark. He was arrested again after a chase right out of a violent video game series, which had ended when cops had knocked his car off the road, and then he tried to steal another fucking vehicle. Says the deputies were waiting for a tow truck on Saturday to take away a 2003 Camry, whose driver was arrested for being drunk behind the wheel. And when Clark got out of the passenger seat of a stopped pickup truck, he then walked up to the one in the County Jackson deputies to say that he was taking the sedan, grabbed the keys from the door, and then fucking just sped off. According to the affidavit obtained by this particular newspaper, Clark, who was 23, briefly dragged the deputy, who grabbed onto his shirt as he floored it on the Camry. It says here Clark's wanted level rose steadily as he rammed the stolen car through a chain link fence, and then twice drove over spiked strips aimed at stopping him. It says no one was hurt during the chase, which passed through several towns and ended up when a police vehicle had struck the Camry and sent the motherfucker spinning. Now, Clark had then took off through a mobile home park, trailer homes, is what I'm trying to say, but again was arrested before he could get into another car. So this motherfucker legitly made his way, maneuvered it to, I wouldn't say 5 stars, because it sounded like he was tackled at 2 or 3, but he legit fucking went for it and did it. See, that's the thing I don't get. So obviously the first one was parked, the keys were there. It wasn't a matter of him fucking hot wiring shit, because in the game, Grand Theft Auto, it says you just pressing the fucking top button and entering the fucking vehicle, which usually will throw out whoever's in there or break a fucking window and whatever. There's no little mini game to try to associate you trying to fucking hotwire shit. Maybe they might have did it in Watch Dogs, but I don't know, because I didn't fucking like the game, even though it was dope. And there in Chicago, that was the biggest fucking hook. I literally couldn't get past maybe the first fucking mission. I gave up on it. I was like, fuck this. I'm glad I found it at Walmart on sale. This is now going to be a trade-in credit somewhere else. But I think it's just trippy that he would have it in him, which I'm pretty sure. I mean, I don't know. Like, again, I love the Grand Theft Auto series. I'm more of a Red Dead Redemption fan, as I've been, which I guess would kind of allude to this character that I'm portraying. But it's crazy for him to want to, because again, I haven't taken LSD. I've wanted to. I wanted to try mushrooms, but I'm also scared of that shit, because they say that you'll be able to see your demons. If I've been fighting my demons for so long, how fucked and scared would I be to literally see them? Whether or not that's just a metaphorical thing for whatever the trip is. It's kind of too gnarly for me, at least right now. But I never say never, right? But I don't know. That shit just tripped me out to think that he'd fucking go through that, and again, just to have the dumb fucking luck that police, were to get to his ass. And what's funny, like in the game, for the most part, unless you really know the map, you're at least, you can say fuck it and go for one end of the map and make it to the end, because there's either a main highway or whatever. And again, I haven't been to Oregon, even though I really wanted to plan routes out there, or Seattle. I just for the gloominess, which I'm pretty sure would spark my suicide rate even higher, because they say the gloominess does it. I don't fucking know. Maybe that's why the forest is like that. The Japanese forest, I forget what the fuck it's called. They know it for its suicides. Either which way, okay, so I'm gonna speak from where I'm at here in Phoenix, or technically, I won't give my precise location, but there's cities as far west from Buckeye to Avondale to Phoenix to Chandler, Tempe, Mesa, Gilbert. So literally, there's all these towns that you can pass through just by going on one fucking highway. So if it's, from what I understand, this motherfucker had a clear shot, and again, just tripping balls, is thinking that I don't know if you can see his star wanted level just fucking blazing up higher and higher. But it got to the point that they realized, well, we just gotta ram this motherfucker over. So I don't know if he's gonna have any last troubles. The fact that nobody was hurt other than, cause I'm guessing the car that he was in had to have been a stolen one. So besides those fucking damages, I wonder how bad it's gonna be for this guy. But the fact that he just told the cops, look, I'm tripping balls. I thought I was playing GTA. What can happen? I want to see how far that white privilege could go, because I'm pretty fucking sure that's exactly what it was. I didn't hear about them shooting him dead, so he was not a minority. Yeah, God bless America, right? But anytime I had to get patriotic, I'll let you know that I want to kind of wrap this motherfucker up. I wanted to talk a little bit about E3, which is happening this weekend, but I'm definitely not staying up to date with that one. So y'all can go to your favorite game publications for that bitch. But for those, I don't know, E3 again, kind of a place where it's electronics something expo, and it's pretty much electronics entertainment expo. It's pretty much a thing to where, well, at least the part that I like it for is knowing about the games that are coming out from each company, main publishers. I think yesterday's was EA, motherfuckers that do most shooting games and your Madden series. I think today is Microsoft, which I don't have too much hope for them, even though, again, have been on that PUBG. Actually, I haven't been playing PUBG in a minute. Even though I've been wanting to play more of Fortnite and whatnot, I've actually been fucking playing Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild up again on the Switch. God bless it, because that motherfucker sunk in so much time. I ain't mad at it about the bitch twice. One for the Wii U, one for the Switch. But anyways, so I'm gonna end with because again, this is I don't know what y'all can take this episode for, or how you can how you see it. Hopefully, how it could balance or speak to you in whatever which way. Again, title of it being Hereditary. Um, if nothing really being more creepier than that, that's something that we pass on for goodness, for badness, for everything. Hopefully, in favor of love. But in that same essence, I want to end some shit off with some creepy facts, because I like my facts, my lists, my things of that nature. This guy named Rodney Alcala, he was a serial killer believed to be responsible for the death by strangulation of dozens of women. He also appeared on a 1978 episode of The Dating Game. That was ironic. They say that tomorrow you will have already forgotten 40% of what you have done today. Hopefully that 40% doesn't include this episode. They say that before becoming the Syrian president, Bashar al-Assad was ophthalmologist, the eye doctors in London. The plague that decimated the 14th century has been shown to have actually had a positive effect on society. Wages went up, inequality had decreased, and life expectancy rocketed for those who survived. So again, we have all these little things here with good reason. They say that anatiodophobia is the fear that somewhere, somehow, a duck is watching you. So I'm not too sure if that's why the name sounds so ridiculous, because they got so many ridiculous things they have to be named after. The Soviet Union, they refused to host the 1980 Paralympics, claiming that none of their athletes had any kind of disability. Proud Aryan race we all are. Nothing, Arizona, is a ghost town that consists of a gas station and a sign saying nothing. Message. Anyways, since 1980, there have been over 215,000 unsolved homicides in the United States. They say that a python uses over a third of its energy it receives from its food, simply by digesting it. According to a 2013 survey by the American Society of Civil Engineers, there are over 14,000 dams in the U.S. considered high risk. Hashtag New Orleans. They say that over 25% of American adults aged 20 to 50 years to have some kind of hearing deficiency. Shout out to Little John and his famous catchphrase. Studies have shown that the more belly fat you have, the more likely you are to get cancer and dementia. I thought it was the weed that was making you forget shit. Son of a bitch. Lord help me. Inhaling the air in Beijing is comparable to smoking 21 cigarettes a day. He was a cheapskate in it. They say that an Italian serial killer by the name of Leonardo Cianulli, Cianciulli, fucking ass, Italian for damn sure, had cooked her victims and turned them into tea cakes. That's fucking vicious. Meat is often treated with carbon monoxide, TO, to make it look fresher. I thought that was bad. Athazogoraphobia is the fear of being forgotten about by somebody you once cared about. So I'm guessing motherfuckers with dementia definitely affects them, or their children, or what have you. It said during his lifetime, Genghis Khan was responsible for the death of about 11% of the world's population. And now, considering how much he impregnated when he pillaged and plowed bitches all across the globe, or the known flat globe, I'm pretty sure that shit was a pretty high number. And I would like to see the statistics on that algorithm. The average prison meal is more nutritious than the average school meal. Now, I will fucking add to that. For a very brief moment in time, I had some affiliation with the sheriff's Department of Food Production, and they put a lot of shit into these motherfuckers' diets. Like, because of it being the state, I don't know if it's a federal thing about all the nutrients and having kosher shit for people. Like, regardless of how much they try to limit or try to, cut in cost by producing shit themselves, they do legit get fucking fed pretty well. And that's why when I got hit with the fucking DUI, I wanted my 3 hots in the cot, but even though it's just transport to fucking look like a goddamn hot potato. Anyways, they say that some of the stars that you see in the night sky are actually dead, meaning having extinguished years ago. And again, mind you, it's just gas so many fucking light years away. So imagine how quickly we're able to see these things. Think about how late we are in seeing shit that's on its way to us, or how again we can predict things coming on its way, which is the reason why fucking I think it's Japan or China wanting to fucking have some kind of Death Star to fucking laser beam the bitch out of our fucking atmosphere, ozone layer shit, cum puddle, Jose thing that's sprinkled around. I don't know. People with lower IQs are more likely to be racist or homophobic. I can see that. More serial killers are born in November than any other month. I gotta remember not to try to land that shit. It's funny because I have a cousin, and my nigga Gordo, forgive me for saying this, but if anyone who looks hella suspect, but he lives that secret life, my nigga, that's you, with your tall, dark, handsome, and Lord knows what the fuck you're thinking, sort of S.P.i.C. Anyways, one particular compelling theory about Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, I guess, initiates that Disney films is about cocaine use, and the various dwarves are named after the shifting moods of an addict. Slopey, grumpy, sneezy, what have you. I have a mission for you, for any of y'all that wanna, get a little bit lit and watch a Disney movie. If you haven't already, or if you haven't in a while, watch Up. Tell me you don't get a good fucking cry, or some appreciation for your partner. That's all I wanted to say. Message! Alright, so I wanted to end this thing with, I guess, a dedication of sorts, just to kind of go along with theme and hope. And shout out to, like, my favorite, like, Daiki chicks. I don't know if you guys ever watched, or I should say read, if I was more profound, the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. And I think they had prequels or sequels, that Girl in the Spider's Web. Well, anyways, they've been making movies on this since. There was a Sweden movie, the original. Then it was an American version back in 2011. And then now, I guess we have the next thing in the series. And every time it's played by a different girl. The original Swedish version actually fucking excited me, not only because she was a fucking punk rock Daiki chick. Definitely on the nose with shit. Excuse me, but forget that. Anyways, very on the nose, but there's this scene that I fucking been talking about this all weekend, where, again, if for those who haven't seen it, there's this hacker chick who's a good researcher somehow, some way, some reason she has to partner up with this older gentleman who, whatever's on a mission to do something, solve some murder. And throughout the movie, I mean, it's pretty well known, if not by her appearance, but then even being in the middle, fucking her girlfriend, that she's gay, right? You could kind of tell by looking at her. It's not too difficult to understand that shit sometimes. And whatever, she's on this journey with the guy, and for whatever reason, they're alone. And I don't know what it is. Maybe because he wanted to limit, encountering or kind of, losing focus of the mission at hand. They kind of were, kept within close proximity, and after so long, especially if there's two single willing participants, shit leads from one thing to another. That's why it's so dangerous to, go on business trips with the opposite sex, blah, blah, blah. And, shit ended up popping off to where she raped him, in a sense, to where, just by natural anatomy, a guy's dick is gonna get hard if you play with it. Whatever, he woke up to her straddling him, quite vigorously. And from what I remember, he tried, I guess, participating, not just, having her ride it, which, hey, that's the dream right there. It's the way the devil's going to get you and stick something up your asshole. He tried to participate, and I think, like, she fucking swung at his ass and says, "Don't touch me." Like, bitch, the audacity, the nerve. You're using my dick for your own fucking pleasure, and yet I can't participate. I mean, hell, that's like saying, hey, stand back here while I suck your dick. Don't worry about caressing my hair or blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, why not? Shit, can I roll a blunt while I'm at it? Enjoy myself, maybe read? Well, anyways, to me, that was the sexiest fucking thing. Not only because I find her aesthetic, pleasing to the eye, but also just because, again, the sheer fact that there's, this person you're working with, this weird, odd thing that you're not supposed to be allowed to enjoy, and all of a sudden you're being enjoyed. God bless such moments of serenity, right? Anyways, second one, there's still that rape scene, but it wasn't as intense. But it was by something Mora, Rita Mora, Mata Mora. Y'all can do your googles. They made her even more intense by not being so on the nose, but actually making her awkward, fucking shaving off her eyebrows, just doing some real Elon Visor shit from Diane Ward kind of stuff. And then this third one, fucking coming way out of left field, because I thought they would have gone with more again, because she was awesome. This chick, I know she's on The Crown, Claire Foy. All I know is that she's an April baby. So, shout out to the Aries out there in the world fucking shit up. She's in this, and she looks adorable with the little pixie cut. More like Bob sort of style, but still, she fucking pulls it off. And again, the main cool thing about this character, I'm trying to look up the name of the person that she plays. She's a total fucking badass. She plays, I can't fucking find the name quick enough. But she plays this chick who, whatever, definitely raped a guy, and, God bless her for it. But she eliminates the bad guys. You know what I'm saying? So, especially she's very, because again, in the story, from what I understood, I should read the fucking books, but I didn't want to. I don't know. It takes so fucking long to read. I'm trying to fucking read Jordan fucking Peterson's goddamn Maps of the Mind, and there's so much information. If my eyes go cross-eyed, and I pray to God that I'm not retarded, because I want to fucking finish it. She I'm gonna make it to myself to fucking to read the story, but again, she was dealing with a lot of sexual abuse. So naturally, when she sees a sexual abuser, hashtag Harvey Weinstein, she goes at them, fucks them up, and definitely makes it to where they can't hurt again. And again, death is too sweet of a fucking release. That's too easy of a fucking way out, which is hard for me to say, because I feel like that's the hardest thing to do, is to fucking pull it. But again, death upon someone who deserves torture, you know what I'm saying? What you could say in life is torture unto itself. Death would be too sweet of a release. Those who want to escape the world fucking do that. Those who have done harm shouldn't get such an easy way out. But unless it's just simply to fucking stop them. But hey, you can fucking chop them up and keep them fucking alive so that they can feel it every day. But regardless, because Lord knows I wouldn't want that shit done to me. She fucks up the bad guy. She's a fucking hero. She might do shit a little lowbrow or outside of the conventional norm of, capital punishment, or maybe some would say that's pretty fucking spot on. She dishes it out. And that's just a dope fucking character to have in this world where we need to fucking have heroes. Again, you might fuck up. You might lead to something else that might have not needed uncovering. Like, for example, the security guard at the Pulse. I don't know the fucking full-on story for that, but I know they praise that motherfucker as a hero. And now families of the victims are actually suing him, saying that if he wouldn't have done something sooner, or called someone sooner, or stopped the motherfucker before he got in there, that, I mean, how can you really control that? How could you know? You figure everyone's out there to have a good time, get fucked, get sucked, and, dance until the wee hours of the morning, or whatever the case may be, whatever the fuck they do, when they do what they do. They're suing against them and the fucking police for not putting a matter to it worse. Which I'm pretty sure if they would have got any call or alert, they would have thought, oh, they're just, when we don't act on the gut feelings or our direct orders as quick as we should, there's a lot of missed opportunity. I know I feel that with myself and the things that I don't fucking take on head on when I could have. One small problem now can be a bigger fucking at the end if you don't, nip it in the bud. I mean, that's hard to distinguish, and, but again, it takes always being on your toes, If I wanted to end anything on a fucking biblical note, for you not know, or you won't fucking know really the time or day that, the inevitable comes. You just gotta know that It could be at any fucking time. How unnerving is that? That especially when you're in between shifts and you're trying to catch a fucking snooze for the end of the world, just fucking pop out of nowhere. God help us. May the spirits be with us. Keep us alert. You know what I'm saying? Keep us jovial on our fucking toes, and yet hopefully not be when we're too tired or when we're not looking. May all the eyes of our spirit and our body be looking, be watching out. You know, God be with us. And definitely shout out to y'all. If y'all been listening to this, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Because again, I try to be on the internet as much as possible. Again, y'all can at me at SoulPapo on most social medias. That's SoulPapo. Motherfucker, find me on PSN. Find me on Xbox Live, the SoulPapo. On the Xbox tips. Anyways, you know, I don't know, because I try not to look at the analytics shit, but I'm hoping that if you know, I'm not having any bringing in a thing, tell you that you can bring it on back. Hopefully, it not be a goodness. Hopefully, it be of love. You know what I'm saying? Throw that pussy on it. Anyways, um, again, if ever you want to get at me, whether to talk shit, whether to discuss something, whether to get an opinion, or maybe to do some sort of collaboration, you just let me know again at SoulPapo on most social medias. But of course, if you ever wanted to become a producer of the show, you can go to www.patreon.com/SoulPapo. You know what I'm saying? I'm on the Gmails, on the Outlooks. Fucking plug it in, and I'll see you there. So again, God bless y'all, motherfuckers. Okay.
Yo, that's a huge omission from this narrative. This wouldn't have gone this far if some women weren't willing to do it. You can't ask every woman to hold the line. Some women can carry things heavier than others. So we should fight for one another. We should forgive the ones of us that are weaker and support the ones of us that are stronger. And then we can beat the thing. You guys keep going after individuals, the system is going to stay intact. You have to have men on your side. And I'm telling you right now, you're going to have a lot of imperfect allies.
Shit, I came again.